Live. Let me just double check and then we will get things started. Should be live. Hopefully we are live. We are live, and hello everyone, and you've joined me on a abnormally hot British summer's day. But anyway, I'm here for round 8 of the FVR GT World Championship, and unfortunately, you're gonna have to suffer with just me today. No Natty this evening, but we're still gonna have some fun here out on the circuit. But first of all, we're going to run through our drivers as they line up here at the moment. So, Jenson Taylor, your reigning world champion, he starts P13 and last at the moment. Leadys alongside him in P12 in the Mercedes Tiger Assassin. My former teammate, he lines up P11. Sir Ducky in the Mercedes again, lining up in P10, making it inside the top 10 this time. Ruben here in the Progetto Uno Mazda, they're making a return after a few races away. He will start 9th. Evan Dalton, the boss man himself, starts P8 for the first of the Peugeot cars that we've seen this evening. Adam Hans making it another start inside the top 10 in the Team Spirit Mercedes. He starts 7th with Cameron Hill in 6th. Much better qualifying for him. Showed some good form last time out in Watkins Glen as well. Richo Veltoy is one of your championship protagonists here. He lines up P5 alongside my usual commentator, but not here this evening, Nathan Marriott in P4. Che Easton, P3, that win on debut in Sanquhar. He finds himself in the top 3 once again. We'll be looking to try and improve on his grid position and take another win today. Ate Tingren makes his return to FVR after a few races away. Your season, I want to say, 1 champion and also championship runner-up last year as well. And your current championship leader, Tyler Davison, starts from pole and from the front row. A very beautiful looking grid here today in Suzuka. Challenging track for the drivers, but definitely one where they can make the difference. Tyre wear will be key here today. You have a bit of a headwind down the main straight as well, and tailwind actually through the Suzuka S's. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays into things. But without further ado, and with no one else to throw to, we're going to go to 5 red lights and get this one underway. I hope you are all ready. I'm looking forward to this one. So it's 5 lights ahead of the drivers here in Suzuka, and it's going to be lights out and away they go. They were held for a while. It's a good start though from Tyler Davison now as they roll down in towards turn number 1, covers the inside immediately as Che Easton in the Mercedes has had a good start as well. He moves his way past Ate Tingren in towards turn number 1. Tim drops into 3rd place behind the Mercedes. Adam Hans going wide, and that was Cameron Hill going even wider there, getting onto the AstroTurf in the background. He's dropped down to 13th place now. Tyler Davison though still leads from Che Easton in 2nd, and it's Ate Tingren in 3rd. Nathan Marriott in 4th, and Richo Veltoy in 5th. He's got some ground to make up with his championship rival who's looking to make an impact in terms of championship. Davison leading by, I believe, just 5 points going into this one. So it's going to be very, very close between these two up at the top of the championship, but currently the ball is in Davison's court. The top 10 all kind of lie in the stern right now as it stands. Had a bit of change of position. Tiger Assassin's gone up 1 position from where he started. Taylor already up 2 positions from where he started, looking to make a move on his fellow Lexus now to head up into the hairpin for the first time. Is it going to be a send from Taylor down the inside? Yes, it is, on his fellow Lexus. Oh, and he's hit Ruben as well on the inside, gets onto the curb, and Kidwell now with the traction will just go right round the outside of your former world champion. We had Dalton and Ducky, they're getting a bit up close and personal up in front as well. Dawes will be having a look here on the Mercedes in front into Spoon Curve for the first time, but no theatrics so far on this opening lap. A bit of a testy moment there between Taylor. Taylor's another got up the inside. Oh, and that's Natty. That was Natty and Che Easton getting at it there a little bit. We can actually rewind it. We're going to have a little bit of a rewind. Let's see what happens here. So Marriott then on the P4. I think is Che Easton just gone wide by himself? I think he may have done, riding on board now with the Team Spirit car. We'll see if there was indeed a touch here from Ate Tingren behind. As now we head into Spoon Curve. No, he is just going to run wide. He's going to run wide. And Tim there goes through, as does Natty, gets onto that curve. And again, the AstroTurf there is very slippy in this game. as I'm sure Easton has just found out, but he's going to drop back down now in towards P5 at the end of lap 1. But yeah, the AstroTurf in this game, very slippery. Once you get onto it, it is very hard to get off, and you are likely heading for either a gravel trap or a barrier, as Easton does well to recover it or get it back on the track, and now we'll be hunting down the Mauricio Valtois to make up for that mistake. Of course, it's usually the part where I'd throw to my co-commentator, but we don't have time for that today, so we're going to see if Easton can make a move here in towards turn number 1. We're going to ride on board as well with the pink Mercedes in towards turn number 1, just hot in the wheel tracks here of Mauricio Valtois in the McLaren. Can you make a move into turn 1? Not at this stage of the race, but we might have some action going on behind. As indeed we do. Got Dalton and Ruben going side by side. Kidwell and Taylor going side by side. Dalton up into P9, Ruben down to P8 even, Ruben down to P9. It's going to be Kidwell though, and Taylor going wheel to wheel, and Taylor masters his way past up into 10th place. These are the half-second penalty. They're now almost going 3 wide through the Suzuka S. His lead is now up the inside. Can he push Tiger wide? He does make the move, gets up into P11, and now Hill looking around the outside of Kidwell, but can't get it done at this stage. Taylor then going up into 10th place, but still with a lot of ground to make up if he wants to go forward and get on the podium. Cameron Hill as well, and Kidwell going side by side into the first of the Degners, and Hill going to go back down the inside. Not at this stage, not at this point in time. Kidwell maintains 12th position for now, but there will be still Davidson leading then from Timgren in second, as things are really hotting up here in the midfield. The penalty gates here are quite punishing, as well as Hill actually gets the up and under on Kidwell. Just saw that at the exit of the frame there. They're going to go side by side, door to door now, down in towards Spoon Curve, and Kidwell just about manages to hold off the charging Audi for now, but you kind of get a feeling of when, not if really, for Cameron Hill. He's approaching all over the back, over the Lex, has had a good qualifying, but with that mistake at turn 1 on lap 1, now finds himself in last. Oh, and he's lost it again. He's in the wall. And Cameron Hill, with front bumper and front left suspension damage, will add to his list of chores to do for this evening, as we actually got Leadys and Kidwell going wheel to wheel into 130R, as Leadys wisely backs out of that one. Kidwell was always going to have a track position there. You actually got Dalton now and Ruben going side by side. This battle for P8 still persisting here through the Casio triangle, and now down through the final corner. Taylor looking to get interested in this as well, as Dalton will defend the inside here. Will he, from Taylor behind? Ducking into the slips, let's see how good that Lexus is in a straight line. Can he put out to the inside? He is going to go for it into turn number 1. Jensen Taylor on the inside of Evan Dalton. They make a bit of contact. Taylor on the inside and goes up into 8th place. Great move from your reigning world champion. And he now goes up into 8th. Bit of a big gap to Ducky up in front, but yeah, those medium tyres serving the Lexus well so far in the opening exchanges of this race. That is certainly for sure. As we've got our top 3 now. Oh, sorry, as I say top 3, Davidson's pulled out a rather stonking lead there already over Ate Timgren in P2. The closest battle in the top 3 going to be Marriott and Valtois, who currently sit 3rd and 4th respectively as it stands. Well, Valtois have a go here into the hairpin. We've got a bit of tyre smoke there in the background from Evan Dalton. Doesn't look like it's coming under any pressure though. Valtois sticks behind Marriott for now, and this is actually something that we've seen quite a few times in Valtois. He doesn't always go for the overtake straight away. First to play the long game, sit there, save some fuel, save some tyres, and then use that advantage when others are vulnerable towards the end of the stint. Very tactical driver Valtois is, and let's see if that tactician within him can deliver him a victory today and regain the lead in the championship, which is currently being led by this man, Tyler Davidson. He finds himself once again in a fairly comfortable first position. He's been there a lot this season, and yeah, just showing how good he is once again here in Suzuka so far. Just looking down to see if there's any other battles down here in the fringes of the top 10. Ruben and Evan Dalton still continuing with their earlier battle previously for P8, now for P9, as Jensen Taylor's disappeared down the road. No one close enough to go for a move as of yet. Actually missed, sorry, Taylor getting ahead of Hans there, up into 7th place. He's now looking at the back of Ducky as they go down in towards turn number 1, down the main straight. Can he find room on the inside? Yes, he can. He just about finds room for a Lexus RCF. They're going to be banging doors all the way down the main straight. They make more contact on the way into turn 1, but Taylor, this time on the inside, gets it done, but gets contact from Hans, and there's a bit of a concertina effect context, a bit of an accordion even, and Taylor those managed to survive that racing context up into P6 for a reigning world champion from the back of the grid. And if he can keep making progress at the rate that he is, he's definitely in the shout for the win here. As the next group in front of him is this 4-car group even, from Timgren all the way down to Easton, from 2nd to 5th, with Davison not too far ahead, just still within touching distance of the cars behind. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here, but it could be very, very interesting come the end of the race. And good evening to Black Country Mush in the chat, the man currently running this team, VCR Esports, the BMW of Nathan Marriott and the Lexus of James Kidwell being run under his banner at the moment. Natty here with a very nice floral tribute to the cherry blossoms of Japan. And yeah, finds himself up in P3. It's been a very successful season for Marriott, to be fair. Had a win in Spa-Francorchamps. Finds himself once again riding in that top 3 and pulling away from Veldhuis behind, actually, which is interesting, as he's coming under increased pressure now from Che Easton behind. That sets a personal best sector there as well, and Easton, after being up in 2nd at the end of lap 1, will be dearly hoping that he can get past this McLaren sooner rather than later, as they now come through the final couple of corners here in Suzuka. A bit of a twitch there for the Mercedes. Does that compromise his run down the main straight? We're going to go on board here with the Team Spirit car. 202.1 for the Brit into turn 1, chasing down this McLaren, and we're going to actually see here the effects just of the understeer really in the dirty air as we now go through turn 1. The front tyres squealing and complaining there under the hood of that Mercedes. It's not close enough to go for a move at the moment, still finds himself down in P5 as the gap actually out in front has come down a little bit, but Timgren picking up a second penalty there. That's going to hinder his chances of getting after Davison in this race, but again sets a personal best sector 1, so there is still clearly some pace in that medium tyre and in that Alfa Romeo as well. Some things holding up here up at the front. Drivers feeling the pressure, making mistakes, getting a few penalties, but nothing too serious as of yet. Ruben has now cleared Evan Dalton. He's up into P9 as it stands. Dalton looks like he's struggling a bit in the opening exchanges of this race. Currently lap 5 of 25. So a long, long way to go in this one though, and the drivers are settling in, trying to get that confidence, build that muscle memory and get settled into a race then. And yeah, look at the tyre selection. I believe everyone on the medium as it stands. Yes, everybody on the medium tyres. So looking like we could have a fairly straightforward, maybe a one-stop here. Everyone going to the softer compound towards the end of the race. Of the top 3 though, it's actually Timgren's tyres that are looking the best right now, you'd have to say. Of the top 3, there's Taylor now has caught up to the back of Easton very quickly. Easton thinks about going defensive into the final chicane. 1 stop versus 2 stops, says Black Country in the chat. Good to know. As Taylor now in the wheel tracks of Easton down the main straight. Veldhuis has gone defensive here actually, which is an interesting choice here from your championship, second place man in championship even. As Taylor now going down the inside of Easton into turn 1. Sorry, I'm clicking through the camera things there. Going to go up on the roof here. Has a look again down the inside of turn 2. Can't make it happen though. Has to sit behind the Mercedes for now. And there's a ride again up through the S. It's difficult to go for a move here, especially in GT3. It's very much one line all the way through. You have to have the driver off in front if you really make a mistake to have a go through this first sector, but it is a big challenge here for the drivers. The grass, the gravel is just there. If you make even a millimetre, a fraction of a mistake, you can be off and your day could be over. And these drivers navigating it with skill and precision so far in this race. No major crashes, which is surprising, apart from Cameron Hill going off at Spoon Curve on lap 1. He still finds himself, I believe, in 13th and last on the road as it stands Oh, and Taylor looked like he was going to outbrake himself there for a second, and getting squirrely on the exit as well there in his pursuit of Jay Easton. I really thought that was going to be a Lexus going up the back of Mercedes there. We're going to keep our cameras though and keep our eyes on this battle for fourth, as Veltoys hasn't really been able to make an impression on the cars in front. Looks like he's struggling for pace a little bit on lap 6 so far. Taylor bumping the back of Easton through Spoon, and the exit now is head up in towards 130R, one of the most famous corners in motorsports. Can Taylor go for a move here on Easton into 130R? He's going to go for it, you know, up the inside into 130R. Surely this doesn't come off. He's going to go for it on the grass, but Easton had just enough to make sure that that wasn't going to happen. He wasn't going to get a chance to go for the overlap there was Jenson Taylor. But now on the exit of the chicane, once again he's pushing that Mercedes through the apex, as now down the straight here comes Jenson Taylor with impervious speed. Can he make a move up the inside? He's going to have a look, but Easton crucially has the slipstream of the car in front of him. He's having a look at Veltoys into turn 1. Can't make anything happen with it though, as these three kind of locked in a stalemate right now, because as well as Easton is defending and attacking Veltoys, Taylor's finding it hard just to get through. Has another look into turn 3. Nothing doing there, but Taylor looking very feisty now, getting a bit impatient behind the back of Easton. Easton doing a great job to both defend and attack, but yeah, very, very interesting fight between these guys. Commentators curse, there will be crashes. Yeah, come on, we can't be doing spoilers in the chat, Black Country. We need to let the ladies and gentlemen arrive there by themselves. I also haven't seen this race, keeping to my tradition, of course, so I have no idea what the outcome of this one is. But right now we do still have Jenson coming up through the pack. Can you make a move down the inside? He is going to make a move down the inside. Oh, and Easton, it's a bold move. It's forceful, makes it stick though at the hairpin. I was not expecting that at all, as Taylor now goes up into P5 with a move that definitely caught Easton and myself even by surprise. So his life now gets made a bit easier, because the car in front of him now, Mauricio Veltoys, does not have the slipstream of that car in front. Will be a bit more vulnerable in a straight line if he can square off the corner and get a good drive now down the back straight in towards 130R. We'll see if he has to look up the inside or outside. Veltoys going to go defensive. It looks like it is going to go for the inside line. Mauricio Veltoys and Jenson Taylor into 130R. This can't end well. It does end well. Taylor up into P4, putting a move on the second place man in the championship at 130R, one of the fastest corners on the circuit, and Veltoys cannot respond instantly. The Casio Triangle slots in behind the Lexus, but slipstream now down the main straight. Can he have another go at the Lexus in towards turn number 1? Taylor weaves, trying to break the slipstream from Veltoys behind, but I don't think that McLaren has the legs to have a go into turn 1. Indeed he doesn't, and Mauricio Veltoys there crucially losing another place, and even more crucially losing extra points to Tyler Davison now at the top of the championship. Davison still leads this race with Veltoys now down to 5th and coming under a lot of pressure from behind. This could be a turning point here in the championship if it were to finish like this. As I finish the last of my water on lap 8, this is going to be a bit of a tricky one if things do indeed spice up at the end. At a Timgren, look at how squirrely he was getting there on the exit of Degner 2. Just shows how much he's pushing to try and catch Tyler Davison, and was indeed half a second quicker on that last lap now. The gap coming down between these two visually over the last couple of laps, and Nathan Marriott coming under pressure from Jenson Taylor already. Is it going to be another blockbuster move from your reigning world champion here in FVR to put himself onto the podium? He's already got past 1 VCR eSports car. Can he make it 2 for 2 by lap 8? You see him move into 130R before he'll tuck into the wheel tracks of the BMW in front. He's going to have that extra slipstream, the extra boost in a straight line that you get by the car in front punching a hole through the air. Fresh, clear air washing over that Lexus right now as he's getting closer and closer and closer to the car in front. You've got yellow flags up. Oh, and Timgren's off! Timgren's come off! He's off the track. Taylor's off the track as well. There's a big crash here at the Casio Triangle. Taylor off, Ate off as well. The recovers up into P3. Taylor now down to P6, P8. Still waiting to recover. Let's see where he is. He's behind the tyre wall here. Gets back onto the track in 12th place, and all of his hard work over the opening 8 laps of this race completely and utterly undone. Timgren now falls into P3. I don't know if Taylor had contact there with Timgren, and that's what sent him round. Actually, we can have a look. Let's have a look. I'm using the manual replay function, being able to do this through a replay cam. So Tim has gone for a spin. Makes so much sense, it rhymes. We're riding on board now with Taylor. Oh, and he has hit him and put him on the grass, and that's what sent Taylor into a spin. That's massively unlucky. That's the slightest of touches. As I'm only using the third-person cam for incident replays, no other reason this evening. But yeah, that's a Timgren though with a mistake, and Jenson Taylor an unfortunate casualty there of that mistake by the Alfa Romeo. But still though for Tim, not too bad. He remains within the top 3. For Taylor though, down now into P12 as you've got Dalton, an assassin even, it's close together on track. What someone's going to go for a move out of those two, but not at the current moment. Taylor down to P12, and let's see how he can recover. He's gotten past all of these cars before fairly quickly, but especially now how dirty those tyres will be, how hot they'll be after that spin. It could be a bit of an uphill battle here for the former world champion. Leadys though going wide, that's going to give Taylor all the invitation he needs to try and slot a move through at some point. Will he have a look to the inside line? Has a look on the inside into spin curve, will turn to the outside line. Leadys doesn't defend too hard, gives him the flash, and Taylor now goes up again into 11th place as Timgren now still managing to pull away actually from Easton and Veldhuis behind. Marriott finds himself now the big beneficiary of all that, moving up into P2 from P4, so he would have been happy to see the 2 cars in front of him head off the track. But yeah, well managed for Marriott though. He managed to keep his track position, and up into P2. Davison will be just looking in his rearview mirror like, where the hell did everyone go? He had Tim hunting him down a while ago, but now again finds himself out in front and on his own, and yeah, looking to get into that rhythm and just see if he can bring this one home as well. We're basically up here at the front. Easton has got past Veldhuis as well, so Veldhuis dropping back into 5th, but crucially with Taylor now coming back to the field once again, as he's already gotten past Evan Dalton into turn number 1. With Taylor coming back to the field, that could very quickly turn into a P6 finish there for Veldhuis, pending any further disasters. And Kidwell has a squirrely moment there on the exit of turn number 1. I really thought we were going to see another car in the barriers. Taylor, though, providing plenty of pressure to his fellow Lexus now as they head up through the latter stages of the Suzuka S's. The tyres actually do not look too bad for Taylor despite that spin, and he's now going to have a look in towards Degner 1, pops out to the inside just to show Tiger he's there. Doesn't go for the move at this stage, that would be a bit too risky. I think will probably result in an incident as Kidwell again having a bit of a moment there, and Taylor checking up as well behind him. Will it be a send into the hairpin once again? It's been the Jenson Taylor show so far here, as on the exit of the corner, Kidwell the poor exit now, Taylor on the traction and gets past him up into 9th place. He's still farming TV time here. Jenson Taylor another move at the hairpin, puts himself now up into P9. Let's go back up here towards the front because Easton has actually got past Timgren here as well. And just looking at the tyres here, Timgren's in a lot better shape than Easton, so maybe another mistake there for the Finn, which has allowed the Englishman now up into P3, goes wide again there. Timgren, he's just not looking fully connected with that car so far and goes wide again there. Timgren is just not looking fully hooked up there. Could be a bit of the network as well, network issues. I know he does have some issues with Wi-Fi as it stands, and did in this race. Veldhuis though looking very interested now on the back of Tim Grin into turn number 1. Can he make a move? Not at this point. Lots behind, but Tim Grin looks like he was going wide there. Don't keep it on the track. Coming back down here towards the last stage of the top 10. Taylor now still maintaining track position ahead of Kidwell. Seriously, give me more screen time. You've had plenty of screen time, Mr. Taylor. There's other drivers in this race who are doing many things right now. But yeah, obviously a meteoric rise back through the field here for Jenson Taylor. He is closing down on the back of Ducky at the moment. We will stick with this for a little while. Let's just see if... No, okay, yeah, we can stick with this for a little bit. So Taylor coming onto the back of Ducky now in towards Degner 2. Will it be another send at the hairpin? Has a better traction than the Mercedes, gaining in the stitching all the time. How hard will Ducky defend it? He has a look. He's going to go for it down the inside. Jenson Taylor, but Ducky has him covered on the exit of the hairpin, though. Can he get the traction? He does. And then Taylor has to spot him behind for now. But into the slipstream tracks once again. Taylor, can he make a move here down the inside in towards Spoon Corner? Has a pop out to the left. And he go for it now, late on the brakes, backs out of the move as we almost had a rebellion. Does go for the move. Ducky making a mistake for the second part, and Taylor now slots himself up into P8. Fantastic move there from your reigning world champion. As Tim Grin now goes wide again, and Velto's actually got a big chance. Tim Grin's off, he's in the wall. Tim Grin in the wall, yellow flags out on the exit of the corner. Has to be very careful now with how he chooses to rejoin the circuit. Comes back on. There's more cars coming through. Taylor goes through. Ducky goes through safely this time. Kidwell as well will go up into P9, but another costly mistake there at 130R for Tim Grin, and he's now fallen down into 10th position, as that's now spaced out your top 3 a bit more now, with Marriott having a fairly sizable gap to Davison up in front, and no car in between Easton and Veltois, as Adam Hans and Ruben now get close together on track. These two have been closing in on each other for the last few laps. We are approaching the halfway stage of this race. P5 and P6 still very close there out on the track. Taylor, after that earlier incident with Ate Tim Grin, he now finds himself in P7 and still going very quickly in the 2-minute 01s. For context, with a 2:02.9 for Ruben on the last lap, 2:01.7 for Jenson Taylor, so a full 1.2 seconds quicker, as Ruben has a look on the outside into one of the Degners, but can't make anything happen at this moment, but does have another look now for us. Oh, he's off! He's in nowhere. I thought he was off. Had a big moment there, though, but keeps it all together and onto the track. A very nice save there from the Spaniard. Has another look now, playing with some different lines, tries to get the up and under on Hans, but can't do it at this moment at the hairpin. We've seen many a move at that hairpin this evening, but P5 and P6 still lie in the stern as it is. We've got a big queue of cars here, actually, going all the way down from 5th to 12th. You can see on the mini-map there in the top right-hand corner. Ruben, though, does make a move down the inside of Spoon and does indeed get the move done finally on Adam Hans. He now goes up into the top 5 here this evening. Good evening to all 6 of you watching. It's good to see some people tuning in for FVR GT here at Suzuka. Davison still does currently lead. It's a British 1-2-3 as it stands with Marriott and Easton rounding out the top 3. It's Richard Veltois in P4, and we are currently watching. Oh, it was a car off! Taylor off at 130R! And he's dropped a position now to P8 with a front left corner and front bumper damage, and that's a costly mistake. Taylor dives into the pits. Taylor dives for the pit lane, and is this the 1 versus 2 stop that we were talking about pre-race here? Jenson Taylor comes into the pits. We're about halfway through the race. Could this be for a set of the hard tyres? Is it for a set of the softs? We will wait and see what tyres he goes onto here, waiting for the Lexus to draw down the pit lane. Here he is now. So the Lexus will be getting serviced. The fuel, does he take fuel? He doesn't take fuel. It's a 2-stop strategy then for Jenson Taylor. Goes onto a new set of the soft compound of tyre. He exits the track in last, but crucially with clear air, with a lighter fuel load and fresh tyres. We know how quick Jenson Taylor is, already has the fastest lap of the race as it stands so far. Can he use these tyres to get himself up into the top 5 and make a bit of a headache here for the cars in front? As Marriott and Easton now actually getting a lot closer together out here on the track as they debate second place here in Suzuka. The British driver driving a German car, the British driver a German car as well. It's BMW versus Mercedes. Through Spoon Curve they go now, and Easton will be tucking straight away back into the slipstream of the BMW, and the better exit. The front tyres on that BMW look like they're just struggling a bit there as they're now down the back straight in the slipstream. Here comes Che Easton. Can he make a move here on Marriott through 130 yard? They're going to stay nice and close together. Will any of them duck into the pits? You've already seen Taylor duck in already. Will they respond to the strategy of last season's champion Marriott? Around the final corner, Davison has stayed out. Marriott, will he stay out? He hasn't committed to the pit lane. He does. Easton as well stays out. Mucho Veltois, currently P2 in the championship, he stays out as well. Does Ruben come in as the glorious son of that Mazda echoes off the barriers of Suzuka? No, he stays out, stays in P5 now. Adenhan's P6. Ducky into the pit. So Ducky is responding then, and Leedies. So we've got drivers responding to Jenson Taylor triggering the undercut here. And we've also got Cameron Hill into the pits as well. Are we seeing drivers converting to the 2-stop? It's going to get very interesting here. We've got some strategic offsets, some strategic differences. As Dalton's off again at turn 1, he's onto the AstroTurf. Might be a sign that the medium tyres are just giving up the ghost now. Taylor jumps Ducky. Ducky does put in some fuel. Leedy's no fuel, just tyres. It will be soft tyres all round for the guys who just come into the pits, and Cameron Hill as well, but picks up a 3-second time penalty. That'll be very costly for the Audi driver as he attempts to lift himself up from the back of the grid. But the bottom 4 now, all on fresh soft tyres. The top guys are all still struggling out here on the mediums. There is a chance you could get some convergence here at the end of the stint, and indeed again at the end of the race. As by not taking fuel, that more or less locks those cars into a 2-stopper here this evening, which could be interesting. Overtaking has been happening around this track tonight, but hasn't been as frequent as somewhere say like Monza, where there's overtakes more or less every corner. Obviously a bit more technical Suzuka. That's where some of the challenge comes into it, as we are approaching just 10 laps left to run in this race. Easton and Marriott now very close together out on the circuit as they approach 130R for the 14th time. Does Easton have a look here down the inside? No, can't make anything happen as of yet. Will we see anyone dive for the pit lane? Davidson stays out for another. The front tyres in that BMW are screaming under the right foot of Nathan Marriott. For Che Easton, they're looking better, but not too much better. Veltois again though, very strong tyre management we're seeing here from the Dutchman in the McLaren. Best tyres in the top 4 as it stands so far. 2:04.7 for Ruben on the last lap. Timgren after a couple of spins early on in this race, now looking to recover. He's in P6 at the moment. You've got Kidwell, Hans and Dalton, they've all stayed out as well, so we are seeing a change in strategy here between the 1 and the 2-stop. Taylor though has made very good progress already, only driver into the 159s all race so far, as he now finds himself in P10, but with bags of speed. Can he get himself up and towards the top 5 by the end of the race? I'm sure that's what he'll be targeting. Yeah, it's going to be some big pace that's required now from Jenson Taylor. Every lap between now and when the medium shod runners do decide to come in is a quali lap. And right now he's about 4 seconds a lap quicker than Easton, who currently sits P3. So Easton can't really afford to stay out for too long here. Taylor does have the advantage on those soft tyres, and he is chasing him down fairly quickly here. Davison knows had it all his own way so far. He still leads this race, but also about 4 seconds a lap, or just under 4 seconds a lap slower than Taylor as it stands so far. Easton though, that's as close as he has been to Marriott over the last few laps. in the slipstream now. Let's go on board here with the Team Spirit car. Everyone's been doing that a lot this race. We're going to do it again through 130R. Lift here for the Mercedes as he gets ever closer to the back of the BMW M6 through the Casio Triangle for the 15th time this evening. Just 11 laps to go in this one. Does Marriott dive for the pit lane? No. And Easton now to give himself a great chance to get past. Marriott does go defensive down the main straight, and it looks like the BMW just has the legs there on the Mercedes. Marriott goes back to the racing line. Maybe some fuel saving going on there by Easton into a center one, and it's indeed, I think he did a little bit of lift and coast there, but it did not look like that engine was running at full chat, and indeed he has been saving a bit of fuel compared to Marriott in front. Veltois again managing his fuel very well, as has Davison. Actually, it must be said, Davison not being caught up in any silly battles so far, has been able to just manage his tyres and his fuel very well here to build his lead now over the cars behind. Veltois, a bit of a lonely race to fourth so far. As Taylor now has caught up to the back of Dalton. These should be fairly easy moves here for Jenson Taylor, like shooting fish in a barrel almost on those fresh compounded tyres. Comes up the inside now of Dalton through the end of the Suzuka S's. Makes the move stick up into P8 there for Jenson Taylor as he now sets his eyes on James Kidwell's P7. And once again, I think for the third or fourth time this evening, looking to get past his fellow Lexus. They have been very inseparable so far today. So he actually sets another fastest lap of the race, some 5 seconds quicker than James Kidwell in front. 5 seconds is insane, and Taylor putting those soft tyres to very good use. Can he try and get past Kidwell in towards Spoon Curve here, up the inside? Nope, can't make anything happen as of yet, but I'm sure there's a move coming here, and there indeed there is. Gets the better overlap on Tiger Assassin and gets his way up into P7 now at Spoon Curve as Taylor behind the chasing down the man who's causing some problems this evening, to be fair, at 18 with that earlier spin, just tagging Taylor around into his own spin as Marriott and Easton both dive for the pit lane. Veltois is in as well. This is going to be interesting here. Veltois with a lot more fuel than Taylor and Easton, but what tyres do these three go to? Ruben stays out, Timgren comes in, Taylor will stay out. He will grab track position as well. Marriott into the pits, gets service. Taylor's going past the exit now. The fuel goes in for the BMW, 40 litres similar for Easton and indeed for Veltois. They all come out close together, but crucially here, behind Jenson Taylor, Marriott as well gets out ahead of Easton, but only just. As that fuel disadvantage did almost cost Marriott a P3 on track there. But yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see now. The tyres for Marriott and Easton will be much better than Jenson Taylor up in front, but crucially Taylor still with an extra stop to make in this one. Marriott, Easton, Veltois, they're all going to the end, and the same for Tyler Davison, who still needs to make a pit stop, running out of sync here actually with the cars behind. So we should see him in at the end of this lap, you would think, as he can't really afford to spend too many laps out there of a tyre disadvantage. He obviously has a big cushion, has the luxury, if you want to, pretty much deciding when he wants to pit and then going for it then. But he can't wait forever. These three drivers, they'll be very, very quick here. You've still got Ruben and Dalton running out of sync, but that Peugeot again, they're just showing how good its tyre wear is, really. We've got Dalton and Davison who have both gone for that extra lap. The Peugeot strategist would not been planning on that, though, as Dalton runs wide, and Marriott has a bit of contact with him, but does get the move done pretty cleanly there. Davison does indeed come into the pits, but now Dalton versus Marriott in towards 130R. He gets a push from Easton as Easton versus Marriott into 130R. Easton on the outside with the slipstream. Can he make that stick? Marriott on the grass, and he stays ahead of Easton, but Marriott now still on the defensive, with Easton going down the outside, picks up a half-second penalty as well for his troubles. Easton, I thought he was losing it there, but keeps it all gathered up together. Taylor now and Davison close together on the track. Davison does jump Taylor coming out of the pits, and he now still leads this race, but Marriott there with a half-second penalty, I think that's a bit harsh from the game. I don't think he could have done much else there to avoid that. But yeah, Marriott nonetheless carrying now that half-second time penalty. That will drop him behind Easton when they come up to the penalty gates at the end of the lap, though. And then that's a costly mistake there for Nathan Marriott. He will not be too happy about that, I am sure. But the question for me now is, when does Taylor decide to bin off those tyres and come into the pits? Lap times for now are still respectable. A 2-minute dead .4 on the last lap. So the tyres are still holding up fairly nicely for him, but he did pit on the end of lap 13, end of lap 12, end of lap 12, about 2-minute 20. So it has been a fairly lengthy stint on these soft tyres. I reckon we'll see him do one more lap and then come in for another set, maybe the end of lap 19. Bit of a shorter stint for him, and therefore can push even harder. But of course, he does need to put some fuel in that car. No fuel has gone into the Lexus as of late, or at the most recent stop anyway. But let's come back down here actually to Marriott, to Easton, and to Beltois. At Beltois, it's not been the greatest day at the office for him so far. The championship is on the line here. Only 2 races left to go after this one, and things are reaching crunch time for Beltois and indeed for Tyler Davison. They've already had a bit of a tete-a-tete into Lagos this season, as Marriott does serve that half-second penalty, which in which Davison definitely came up better. But can he now make amends for that and make a move on Nathan Marriott? Now down the outside into the Casio triangle, he has a look. Marriott goes across the curb. Could be another penalty there coming the way of the BMWs ahead now down the main straight. Once again, can Beltois stay close enough to the BMW to have it go into turn 1? Just not at this stage. The slipstream of Easton really helping out Marriott to stay ahead of the McLaren. And that's actually something that we saw before when Taylor was trying to come up back through the field, that the car in front also having a slipstream gives them that extra bit of a protection against you, even if you are quicker through the corners. Beltois are looking very interested here on the back of Marriott, looking to make a move, looking to get some more points and stem the blood flow of a championship points he's losing to Tyler Davison so far. At the moment, at least he's not losing the fastest lap point. That currently belongs to Jenson Taylor. Lap 19 or 25, just 6 laps left to run in this one. It's over the curbs again once they go into the second Degner corner. Beltois, so we have seen overtakes at the hairpin already today. Can Beltois make another one here and go for a move on Marriott? Has a look on the brakes, but can't make anything happen so far. Still sticks behind the car in front there, as they make their way down in towards Spoon Curve, and not too long to go in this race. Jenson Taylor on those soft tyres. I believe we'll see him in at the end of this lap. If not, then definitely at the end of next lap. But it's more of a case of how much progress can Taylor make back through the field on those incredibly soft, incredibly fresh, soft tyres for the last 5 or 6 laps here in Suzuka. Round the final corner he comes now. Will we see the Brit duck into the pit lane? Yes, we do. I called the strategy completely perfectly right. So there we go here. Jenson Taylor go rolling down the pit lane. This should be for another set of the soft tyres, as Marriott and Beltois still very close together on track here, battling it out for the final, or what will be the final podium position on track at the moment then. Marriott graduating up and towards P3 as Taylor makes his pit stop. The fuel does indeed go in and comes back out. 27 litres of fuel. He will come out behind Timgren, and in 7th place for Jenson Taylor. He has 5 laps. How much ground can he make up now? I expect we'll be seeing that fastest lap disappear with Taylor on tyres that are that fresh, on a tank that's that empty. They're coming under increased pressure here from Valtois. Valtois really needs to get this move done if he wants to have a serious shot at putting Davison under some pressure at the top of the championship standings. Now looking down the inside as well, no, nothing doing there. Later on the brakes, we couldn't do anything with it, had to look to the outside, but Marriott hadn't covered at that point in time. And Easton here just having a bit of a free air run to just clear these two. And we saw how quick he was on that opening lap before he had that mistake. Clearly has the pace to run it up in the top three today, and they're doing a really, really good job, it must be said, for Easton so far in this one. Now 20 of 25, 6 laps to go, including this one. Valtois goes wide though, his pursuit of Marriott. The dirty air definitely not helping him out so far as it happens, and Taylor now on the back of Timgren as they exit Spoon Curve and make the run in towards 130R. We've seen Taylor go for moves here already today. Will it be another one? Will it be the tailored send in towards the Casio triangle through 130R now? Nothing doing there. Will be a move at the chicane if one is to come on this lap. Still a bit too far behind there for Jenson Taylor. Yeah, our drivers all fairly spaced out right now. Cameron Hill still rounding out the grid in 13th. We still have all 13 cars that started the race on track at the moment as Leedy splits up a 3-second penalty. That will drop him behind Ducky in their battle for 11th and 12th place. Hans has not had the greatest of races, to be fair. He's down in P10. Ditto for Evan Dalton, finds himself in 9th so far, with a big gap actually to James Kidwell. He's currently running 8th as it stands, with Ate Tungren in 7th, and Jenson Taylor making his way past Tungren now up into P6. Setting the said that fast lap was going to disappear, and Jenson Taylor setting a purple sector wild, meaning fastest of all in this race event through the first sector now. And he is looking to chase down Ruben for P5. Also on the soft tyres, getting a bit twitchy though, that Mazda, and it does just sound glorious. I really wish this car existed in real life because it is simply amazing. You can actually ride on board with the Mazda, but I'm going to be quiet so you can enjoy this. Amazing stuff there. They don't make them like that anymore, unfortunately, as Valtois and Marriott are a bit more spaced out than they were before. Valtois just looks like he's falling away there a little bit from the back of the BMW in front. That McLaren just hasn't really looked at home here around Suzuka, showing a lot of understeer it looks like, and the dirty air not making things any better for Valtois at the moment. It looks like it's going to be a day of damage limitation really for him, as we end now lap 22 of 25. Not long to go here before we crown our winner for the Japanese Grand Prix here at FVR GT, and it has been a very decent race so far, it must be said. We've had drivers charging through the field, we've had incident, we've had overtakes, we've had drama, but it's still not over yet. There is still 4 laps left to run here, even including this one, and there is still some more cars for Jenson Taylor to try and overtake here, as they head up now through the end of the Suzuka S's and towards the first of the Degners. Taylor now hot on the wheel tracks of the Mazda in front. Can he make a move down the inside? Not at this point in time, but it gets very close under braking, and I half thought a move was on there, and it's 58.5 there for Taylor last lap, so 6 tenths quicker than his own personal best fastest lap. Can't go for a move at the hairpin this time around, but with the superior traction should power past the Mazda, but can't do it at this time. Slots into the slipstream. Can he have a go in towards Spoon Curve? He's going to have a look up the inside, perhaps. He's going to have a look up the inside here in towards Spoon Curve. Can he go later on the brakes? He can, but hasn't covered this Ruben. It's a little bit of contact, but the Mazda stays on the tracks. That'll be all good by the stewards. Apologies. As Taylor now gets actually muscled backwards by Ruben as they head up and towards 130R for lap 22. Up the inside goes Jensen Taylor now in towards 130R. Can he make that move stick? We saw Ruben put the brakes on there and just pack out of that one a bit, but Taylor's off the track there, and I thought that was going to head into the barrier for the Brit, but he keeps everything together, collected and on the track as he so often does. And Taylor now up and towards P5. Can he chase down Mauricio Veldhuis for P4 and put an even bigger dampener on his day? 23-25, not too long to go now. It's still Davison from Easton, from Marriott, your top 5. Second place in the championship man, Mauricio Veldhuis, is in P4 with a lot of work to do in these last 2 laps if he wants to minimize the damage done in the championship to his closest rival here. To only 3 tours of the Suzuka circuit left to go. Taylor, with a magnificent 2-stop run, finds himself from starting in P13 on the grid up into the top 5 once again here for Taylor. It's been a very, very mature drive from him so far this evening, and if he can chase down Veldhuis or even Marriott, probably one of his best drives in FVR for sure. As he now navigates Degner too, it's an absolutely blistering pace for the fastest lap as well. He's a 58.5 on the last lap. You've got Davison, your race leader, 2:01.1. So that just shows you the kind of pace that Taylor's throwing down right now in his pursuit of the podium. But speaking of Davison, we've not had to say much about him today. Again, he's having one of those races that he's been having recently. Just gets into the front, gets into that rhythm, and disappears and doesn't get involved into the incidents behind him. Just looks after the tyre, looks after the fuel, and it's paying him dividends so far again today with an absolutely commanding drive as he looks to secure his first FVR GT title, and it has been a champion's drive from him so far today, that is certainly for sure. The battle for P3 though still rages on. Marriott versus Veldhuis. Marriott with an outside shot of claiming the championship here still, so we'll want to defend from Veldhuis, and we'll want to hang on to that P3. Also in the team's championship, things hotting up a lot between VCR Esports and the Cabbage crew, as well as Peugeot Rothergan Racing, which is Davison and Dalton's team. They're very, very close on points. 2 points between them, 165 for Cabbage Crew compared to 163 for PGR as it stands so far. So at the moment, I believe PGR extending back championship lead with Davison up in first, and Dalton still remaining inside that top 10, but scoring points strongly there for PGR even, yeah. So should be overtaking actually the Cabbage Crew in the team's championship. So it's going to be interesting to see here how this battle plays out between Veldhuis and Marriott. That 24-25, not too long for Veldhuis to really go for it, but we saw this at the beginning of the season, bides his time. And then goes for the move later on in the race. As we are reaching that later on in the race period, and let's see what Veldhuis can do. You can see Taylor there, so menacing in the background. He's really hunting these down. He really wants that podium, and you can see he can practically taste the champagne. He's that close to the cars in front there, but it's going to be so close between these three at the end. I think Taylor could become a factor. He's gaining by almost 2 seconds a lap, just under 2 seconds a lap. It could be very tight at the end of the final lap. As now we come back up to Davison, who's entering the Casio Triangle for the penultimate time this evening. Veldhuis and Marriott are looking very close. Veldhuis pushing the BMW through. He's gone off though, Veldhuis, onto the AstroTurf, but doesn't make too big of a mistake. He's now hot behind Nathan Marriott as they enter the final lap of the race. Is it going to be Raikkonen and Fisichella style in towards turn number 1? Mauricio Veldhuis in and behind the BMW. Can he make a move? Marriott has gone defensive, on board now with your championship protagonist, Mauricio Veldhuis. Can he make a move in towards turn number 1? Not at this point in time, just a bit too far back here really. and can't go for the move. Jensen Taylor, though, is so close. You can see Veltoys out of the right-hand side window there of the Lexus. They go up the Suzuka S's for the final time this evening. Veltoys knows he needs to make this move on Marriott if he wants to keep his championship hopes more alive than they are right now. Davison is still leading this race. Veltoys going for it around the outside. Can he make that move stick? He's going to try and get the cut back. Does get the cut back now in towards the deck in the corners. Veltoys taking a big risk here with Nathan Marriott. They're bumping and barging on the way in. They're still bumping and barging on the way in. Better Big's off. Veltoys is off and he's in the ground. He's lost a position. And Veltoys falls to P5. It was a robust defense. The elbow was thrown by Marriott, and that could be a move that has major implications for this championship. Veltoys, after challenging for P3, drops down now into P5, and Ruben will be looking to capitalize on that mistake and make Veltoys' day even worse. That's a disaster for the Dutchman. He loses out another position and crucially out on more points. Taylor coming down the inside of Marriott. Marriott throws the shoulder again. Taylor has to recommit, readjust, but gets the up and under now and goes up in towards P3. He does get his podium, and for the man who has been leading every race, he will round the final couple of corners. Tyler Davison, it's another exemplary drive from your championship leader, and he will claim victory here at Suzuka, unparalleled. Tyler Davison wins the Japanese Grand Prix, and what a drive it was. It will be Che Easton in second, a redemption drive for him after that early mistake at the end of lap number 1 to complete a podium for Team Spirit. Jensen Taylor a rise through the field from P13 to P3 at the line. It's Marriott 4th, Mauricio Veltoys in 5th place. That is big for the championship. That gap widening now between Davison and Veltoys, and this is going to get very interesting as we go into the last race of the season at Lago Maggiore next week. This will be the battle for the championship, the battle of the titans here between Veltoys and Davison. It will be Kidwell who crosses the line in P8. We'll go run down everything else as well. Evan Dalton there in P9 as he comes across the line now, and it will be Ducky to round out the top 10 then. And we'll wait to see Cameron Hill lead. So very close to going on track. That's going to be a drag race to the line, and I think, did Cameron get that? I think Cameron did get that on the line. Yeah, just about. Cameron, as Leeds ran out of fuel actually over the line. That was a very, very close one. Cheers, Black Country. Good to hear from you again, buddy. Obviously, my former team principal. Let's have a look here at this beautiful little baguette-inspired as well Peugeot PGR Racing claim. Another win this season. It's another win for Tyler Davison at the big leagues, and it is going to be an important one, that is for sure. He's now extends his lead at the top of the championship going into the final race next season. Be sure that you tune in for it. We will likely be crowning a brand new champion in FVR, but from me today, that's going to be everything. Thank you to everyone who has tuned in to the stream, and yeah, we'll see you next week for a championship decider, hopefully. But yeah, from me, from everyone else at FVR, that's going to be it. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.